In this video, we'll take a look at leveraging the starter file and what it might offer you. The first step is to download the starter file and to bring it into Fusion 360. You can upload it into your current project, or as I'm doing, I'll use the Create New Design from File and select the F3D file that I downloaded. Once it's in, I can see it's the entire model, and I can see the structure in the browser. There are multiple components: the chassis, wheels and tires, the housing, and the back casters. Since this was modeled in Fusion 360, the timeline will contain all of the features. I'll activate the chassis and see that there are multiple components inside of the chassis. I'll isolate it to get a better view. You can see there are a couple of components, as well as a sheet metal body. Sheet metal features are new to Fusion 360, and there's a separate sheet metal workspace that you can use to add custom features to the existing model, or to see how this model would look as a flat pattern. Adding flanges is easy. By selecting an edge and dragging out the size, you can create a new flange. You can also change the way the flange is defined. Selecting a face, you can create a flat pattern and see how a sheet metal part would need to be developed before it was folded into shape. The locking collar is provided for you to design your own attachments and connect them to the robot base. You can create something completely unique and connect it to the base with this simple mechanism. Near the back of the robot are two brass connectors. These are merely representatives. Use your creativity to define ways of passing data, power, or any other information you want to your attachments. I'll use the Unisolate tool to bring back the rest of the model, though the chassis is still active. Now I'd like to activate the housing. When I do, we see the features that were used to create the housing. By double-clicking on the form, I'll return to the Sculpt workspace and see exactly how this body was created using T-spline bodies. I can select any of the edges or faces and use Edit Form to reshape the model. Even though this model was created, you can still make any changes that you like, such as deleting edges or creating entirely new faces. I'll return back out and take a closer look at the casters. To shortcut the process, I'll copy the name of the caster that was placed into the model, then go to the McMaster Car Library under the Insert pull-down. In the McMaster Car Library, I can find my own casters, or I'll use the paste function and search for the existing caster in the model. The library will bring up the page where I can see the options that are associated with that part number. I can also go through the process of seeing the product detail, reviewing the information about the caster, and even seeing how the 3D step file would be saved into the design. You can also explore making changes to the appearance of the model. Built into the model are the red, gray, and white finishes, but you can always use your own appearance as well as adding decals. Once you have your appearance set up, feel free to enter the rendering workspace to create the renders for your contest submission. I hope you'll use the robot starter file as a springboard to your creativity so that you can show the world what's possible with a simple, flexible platform.